And I don't mean every woman should be a teacher. I want y'all to look back into the Reconstruction era and black children specifically in which they were learning. I want y'all to understand how important it is that every parent or slash mother should be a teacher to a certain extent. How is it that we have the most educated women that have ever lived and yet the worst reading level for children in the last 50 years?
That's a great
Those two things exist simultaneously? And I just want that to sit on everybody's brain. But what I mean is that
the imprint on a child with the mother is very, very, very heavy in comparison to a husband. And so women have to know that crown, yeah, it may be heavy, but it is one that comes with lots of glory and lots of...
The only thing I wanted to add, and Trigger, I agree with you on certain points, and Pretty, I actually agree with you on certain points as well. The one thing that did stick out to me, right, is you said we wouldn't need education if mothers stayed home and taught their children, like if we homeschooled our children. I feel like the greatest example we actually had of that, where we had to practice doing that, was during COVID, right? 2020, when everybody had to be at home. A lot of kids couldn't go to school. They had to do e-learning. A lot of parents had to help their children. And since then, there has been a rapid decline in children learning, understanding where they are, worse than where it was before. Like, we were already behind. And now these children are even further behind, right? Their attention span is shorter. They can't understand basic skills and basic understanding. So I think it's a little naive of us to believe that all people are on the same level educational wise and are actually able to teach their children, whether they actually have the knowledge, or better yet, what I really understood was the patience, because being a teacher is no small feat, even if it's your own child, right? It's extremely hard. Miss Pearl, kudos, baby. Y'all should make way more, because 2020 was crazy. But then the second thing is just to answer the question, what's more of a priority, lifestyle or family? I feel like family should be the priority, right? Unfortunately, in today's society, we see that lifestyle does take the forefront. You can see this in television, social media, unfortunately, even in day-to-day lives with people. But family should be the forefront. Family is the beginning structure to everything. We talk a lot about building wealth and generational wealth, and I think Trigger was a good example of this. It was because of his family structure that he was able to get to that point of paying off all of his student loans and them accomplishing the goals that they want to accomplish, not taking anything away from the work that he put in himself. But when two people are brought together and they have one mindset and one goal that they're working towards, and they build off of that, there are a lot of things that we are able to accomplish, right? Rather than just thinking individualistically and thinking, I just need to worry about my lifestyle and what I want to accomplish. Trigger, I know you wanted to say something. Did you want to respond?
No, just to...
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We go to Casey, and then we go rock back around. Trigger might got a response for everything.
Tree can go. She addressed him.
All right.
No, it was just really quick. I only think COVID is a bad example because it's not indicative. That was a shock moment to the system. And I don't mean every woman should be a teacher. I want y'all to look back into the Reconstruction era and black children specifically in which they were learning. I want y'all to understand how important it is that every parent or slash mother should be a teacher to a certain extent. How is it that we have the most educated women that have ever lived and yet the worst reading level for children in the last 50 years?
That's a great question.
Two things exist simultaneously? And I just want that to sit on everybody's brain. But what I mean is that the teachers get together.
That's a great question.
Community effort to teach the children within your community. That's all.
Great point. We're gonna go to Michelle because I know we've been waiting on her for a little minute. Yeah, can you hear us now?
Well, yeah, I had to. I'm sorry. I missed my footing over here because I was having trouble. So I had to log back out and log back in. So I'm a little bit lost right now. So give me some time to catch up and then come back.
The question that we were answering, we just was getting started on this. So the question we were answering is, what's more important? Is it time with your family or a lifestyle? Is it more important to spend that time to help teach your kids, raise them, be there for pivotal moments, or is it more important to have a certain lifestyle that you live? A specific type of car, specific, however you interpret that. So you can go into that.
Family, it have to be the main priority because material acquisition can come and go. So the time with your kids, you can only enjoy them today, as tomorrow is not guaranteed. So we have to prioritize today. That is my thought and my belief, though.
So for the most part, I really feel like we're agreeing to disagree, but we're really agreeing. It makes it. I'm listening to the conversation. Ty, do you understand? Like I don't understand where the disconnect is coming from, because Pretty stated what she stated, and then Trig came right behind her and talked about him and his wife paying off student loans together. Like, I'm trying to understand where the disconnect is happening, because I mean, no man in this society is going to want an uneducated woman. I think there's balance in everything, right? For women, you are your children's first teachers, point blank, period, right? Women carry on legacy, women carry on culture to the children in the community. We are the teachers. And so the imprint on a child with the mother is very, very, very heavy in comparison to a husband. And so women have to know that crown, yeah, it may be heavy, but it is one that comes with lots of glory and lots of praise in the back end. Because I mean, when we get our children out and we're out in public and my kids are doing X, Y, and Z, our 4-year-old, my husband's the first to say, "Oh, that's my wife." Like, because he knows my first priority is to pour into our children and carry on with the standard that our family is going to be, right? In school, out of school, in daycare, out of daycare, whatever the situation is, the children have to be fed intellectually at home. They have to be, because that's our role within the community and within our household. And so I think women have to understand that first is what our role is within the family. But as far as working, women work in society. I'm not understanding. There's people I know at all different all different financial levels, and women are working at all different financial levels, right? My OB is a working woman with 3 children, right? 3 small children under 7. Completely all about her family. It's all about her husband, but she's working. I mean, people are working, right? And that's not to say that, okay, of course she went to school to be an OBGYN, but there's women at different levels, and you have to work with what goes with your family and what your family requires. If you can make it work within your household, then you make it work. But yes, women should put their family and their children as the first priority. If that means working 2 days a week, or 3 days a week and not 7, and being there. If that means whatever, being able to adjust and not making your career that first priority, it will show. You know who puts their children first. You're able to see that between working women. You're able to see your child is going to shine or not shine based on what they're getting at home. They're going to have discipline. They're going to have knowledge. They're going to have faith based on what they're getting at home. It's not going to be with the school. It's not going to be with friends. It's going to be what they're getting at home. And you can see based on how that family is functioning. And you can also see how a husband and a wife are aligned. You can see how they operate. You're able to see within friend groups who's running the show and who's calling the shots, or if there's actually alignment within their household and how things are going. If everybody's doing their own thing, you're able to see those things. So I think we have to be a little bit more realistic. I think there's a lot of disingenuous points being made that's not really what's going on in today's society. People are working, but you can see who's prioritizing what and when in their household. My mother stayed at home till I was 12 years old, and then she went into the workforce. So you do what works for your family and what works for your household.
Yeah, that's a fact. I think for me, I'm gonna jump in and answer this too. I've always, because of losing my father young, I always valued the relationship that you can have with a parent if they're around. So I vowed to myself when I had kids that I was going to like prioritize that and make that like my number one goal. So that's why I waited so long, and I set things in play to, you know, have them intentionally. And then, you know, we lived off, we stored one complete income. So when it was time, we just like been at home chilling. I've been with my kids since my daughter was 2, and all of their entire life. We've been raising them together in the house. It's been sweet. And the way interest works, to what True was saying, like it's been replacing the money spent from the previous year. As long as I don't go out here and start trying to ball out. Casey, I play them games, but I stopped playing them when we had kids. About just, yeah. So, but now, you know, I keep that shit light and just do what's best for the family, but prioritize that. And I feel it's hard to describe. It's cathartic and healing to be able to see your kids in their innocence grow into who they are, and talk to them every day and be around every day. I definitely appreciate this, because, you know, I get to make up for some of the stuff that I wasn't able to go through due to the loss. And if I did pass, then they already got it from me, at least at this point. So that's how I prioritize it. So I know some people, you know, they view things differently, but that's my insight.